This year, we followed the Gridlife season, a 5-round time attack championship of some of the best in North America. But over on the West Coast, another time attack series has been taking place, and it concludes this weekend for the last event of the season. And since the Gridlife season is now over, some of the drivers of this series made the trek out to California to see how they stack up against some of the best of the West Coast.
My name is Andy Smedegard, and we are here at Super Lap Battle 2017 at Buttonwillow Raceway. It's kind of cool to bring some of the Gridlife cars here. Both series can kind of coincide together. You've got two big time attack sanctioned bodies kind of both beating each other, so it's actually kind of neat. My car is a 2006 Mitsubishi Evo 9. We've got a 2.2 liter engine powered by a Garrett GTX 3582 Gen 2 turbo. It's making approximately 680 wheel horse. Our big competition is the Jaeger STI guys and then the Pro Awesome Evo. I think there's a few other cars that are close. I know James Houghton, there's a few other cars that are going to be right there, but just kind of talking with some of the other competitors, I mean, they've got some high goals set, so we'll see who comes out on top.
Andy Smedegard is not your average time attack driver. His car may look crazy, but it's actually lightly modified compared to some of his competition.
I found a pretty good deal on this pretty big single element wing, kind of, fabbed up my own brackets. We're still learning, we're new to this stuff. We don't come from a professional racing background or anything, so a lot of this stuff here is what we would call homemade. We've probably bought half the aero parts at Home Depot.
Andy has put much of his emphasis on driving over buying modifications for his car, so he might be a little short-handed going into competition this weekend. We'll see if he has the driver skill, though, to come out on top.
It's real early in the morning, just getting the car ready to go for our first practice session. We made a few little changes on the car, kind of last minute. We put the sequential transmission from our other car in this one. So we're going to go out in this practice session and kind of give the car a shakedown, see how everything feels. This first practice session doesn't cover time, so it's literally just a pure shakedown event, not going for lap time or anything. Just want to make sure the car is in good running order.
The practice session goes by without a hitch, and Andy's car is performing well. But unfortunately, in the first official heat of the day, both the Professional Awesome Evo and Jaeger Racing STI have blown their engines. This leaves Andy with James Houghton as his primary competition as they go into the second heat.
So I'm James Houghton. We're here at the Global Time Attack Super Lap Battle Finals at Buttonwillow Raceway. So the first session was okay. We had a few issues that we were struggling through. We worked through them. We thought we had them pretty much solved. So we went out for the second session and we broke the front wheel drive record by 1.1 seconds, and I believe we went 1.3 seconds faster than we went last year. So super excited, but on the cool down lap, seems like we've spit a rod through the block. So this track is super tough for cars that have high cornering speeds and high G loads, and we saw a little bit of low oil pressure on the data, and that seems to be when the motor expired. We're gonna go through our spares buckets and see what we can piece together, and we might even build another motor tonight. If all the accessories that are on this motor are usable, then we're probably gonna put something together tonight, maybe get back out there for tomorrow.
With James Houghton also without an engine, this leaves Andy decimating the competition. But there's another driver who's here from Gridlife, Daio Shihara, and normally he's drifting in the festival events, but he's come to Super Lap Battle to see what he can do with the Spoon Sports team in their FD2 Civic Type R.
So today I'm driving for Spoon Sport, and we brought these two different Type Rs, the new one and the old one. The new one just like a light tune, it's basically like a street class. Another one, FD2 Type R, is our unlimited front-wheel drive class car, and it can go way faster. We're hitting like 144s. Even though unlimited class, the power is not as high as other competitors. The aero is not as crazy as others. So again, we're trying to go as fast as we can without having like crazy modification compared to like last year's spec.
The first day ends with Andy Smedegard on top. His driver skill is proving to outweigh the high budgets of his competition. We'll see what happens tomorrow for the second and final day of the last time attack event of the season. The second day starts off smoothly. Andy continues to improve a little on his time from yesterday. As As drivers go through a time attack event, they're constantly making adjustments to their driving style and to their car. One of these adjustments is suspension.
Suspension's been doing great. We got to actually call Dave, the guy who built our stance suspension. He gave us a few little advice about changing some rebound settings to maybe help with some of the bumpy sections of this course. With the three-way adjustability, it's almost needed to really dial in a car, from track to track. Every track's different, so you need that adjustment.
There's 5 primary aspects to Andy's suspension, and most people are familiar with spring rates and ride height. But what you don't think about is rebound, high and low speed compression adjustments. And because I think this is really interesting, let's take a minute for Andy to explain what these fluid adjustments are.
All right, we were running the Stance XR3 three-way adjustable suspension, and that gives us one rebound adjustment and a separate high and low speed compression adjustment. The rebound adjustment is right underneath, right above the axle. It's a little knob, it's got about 16 clicks. So rebound is controlling the spring energy that gets released. So as you compress a spring, there's energy that wants to be released there. And without your shock, it would just spring back and it would kind of keep on bouncing. So the rebound is actually controlling that energy when the spring is released back. So more rebound, obviously there's more force, less rebound, it lets the spring kind of do more of what it wants to do. We have our low speed compression, which your low speed is going to be like the car kind of diving into a corner, any slow speed of the shock. High speed would be hitting bumps. You're going down a highway and you hit a really quick bump. That's high speed. So you'd kind of adjust that with the high speed compression adjuster.
With Andy's suspension all dialed in for this track, he goes out and shaves even more time off. He puts down a 140.5, almost a full 2 seconds faster than anyone else at the event.
Last lap went pretty well. I felt I did a lot better driving, and the time did show we did run a little quicker. We ran a 140.5. So Ron's been checking out the logs and he's kind of been noticing the intake air temps going up a little bit. So to fix that, we pulled out the factory headlights and then filled it in with a bunch of Gorilla Tape, sealed it all off and made a little ram air intake. And he's just told me that I think our intake temps were down over 10 degrees.
It's been a little over 24 hours from when Andy's 3 top competitors blew their engines, and they haven't been sitting around doing nothing. Professional Awesome Racing has managed to complete a full engine rebuild, and they're fired up and ready to go out for the final session of the day. Over at Jaeger Racing, they've also rebuilt their Subaru and are ready to take down Andy's time. And at the last possible minute, James Houghton and his team button up their new engine as well.
So 26 hours ago, the motor failed. We threw a rod through the block, and my best friend Eric Levine, who's also the builder of the car, he built the motor by himself in the middle of the night. And here we are 26 hours later, and we are ready to go out for the final session at Super Lap Battle.
Houghton goes out, but shortly after runs into an electrical issue, shutting down his car. Not long after, both Professional Awesome and Jaeger Racing run into issues, forcing a short ending to their session. But Andy managed to put down a blistering 140.05, ending the weekend as first place overall.
We did it! First place overall, we won Super Lap Battle. Really got to give a big thank you to Gridlife, Quick Trip, Stance Suspension, Garrett Turbo, RS Motors, everyone from the whole 365 family and everything. We had a bunch of people at the last minute throw a bunch of money for some Hoosier tires.
Andy goes home with a first place trophy, destroying the competition by almost a full 2 seconds. It's been a great year for Andy and the Gridlife Evo, but as the winter sets in, Andy plans to do a full rebuild of the car, so he can go even faster next year.